Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. My name, hey, come on, you guys. It's, you know it. It's Pat Sajak.
It's Mitch Casher.
What's Mitch?
I don't know. I was thinking if you had a different name.
Do you think I would be a good Mitch?
No, you're a good Moshe. Moshe's a lot, though.
What do you mean it's a lot?
That's like
fucking anti-Semite.
No, I just mean if you tell someone. No, I'm just saying it's like you're saying a lot by telling someone your name's Moshe.
It's
It's hard to pronounce, even for Jewish people. And it's people are afraid they're not saying it right, so it demands a lot from people. Your name's not like Jenny.
Did I ever tell you one time I was opening for this comedian early on in my career, this comedian named David Feldman? Do you know David Feldman? Mm-hmm. Very funny, very edgy joke writer. And not the kind of guy that would make it in today's PC culture, but very good joke writer. He, a big old Jew, obviously, David Feldman. And when he found out he's probably 30 years older than me, maybe 25 years older than me. So he came up in Hollywood in a different time for young Jews. And when he found out my name was Moshe Kasher, he had a 35-minute argument with himself in the green room about whether or not I should change my name. I mean, it went on and on. He was like, Moshe, you can't go by Moshe Kasher. No, there's no way you can do that. You got to change your name. You go by you got to get a stage name. You'll never make it with a name like that. No, you can't change your name. You're not going to do that to yourself. I mean, we're in a different time now. Jews can be Jews. You can be no, you can't Moshe Kasher. It's never going to work. You got to change.
Wait, why did he hate it so bad?
Well, he's a Jew, and he came up in Hollywood in a time when every Jew with a name as Jewy as Moshe Kasher would have changed their name to like Morris Kasher or Mocash or some shit like that. And he just couldn't believe that I was. And meanwhile, the whole time I'm sitting there in the green room smoking clove cigarettes, thinking, I don't know what this fucking guy's talking about. I'm not changing my name. It's never was an option. It's not even. You're arguing with yourself. Anyway.
I hear you.
He also told me saying the fuck word was a crutch.
Fuck word?
Yeah, you know the fuck word?
The F word?
Yeah, the fuck word. He was like, don't say that on stage. You know what you're doing. It's a crutch. Meanwhile, he's up there making the fucking most hardcore like genocide and sexual assault jokes, but he did it clean. That was his thing though. He never said the fuck word.
Well, I'm really impressed by your
My fuck word?
By your ability to just be you.
Oh, thanks, honey. That's almost a compliment. So I'm really impressed with your ability to kind of just do your own thing and not care in any way what others think. Somebody did that to me the other day.
I didn't say that.
I was tweeting about I texted one of the writers I worked with on Betty a picture of the ponytail, and she said, "Does your wife like that?" Oh, she says, "Does Natasha like that?" And I go, "Is that a couched version of how a woman tells a man they're doing something they don't think is stupid?" What's your wife think of that? That's how it felt. Is that anecdote not worth telling?
I like
Strike it from the record.
No, you know what? I like the spirit of that kind of question. Well, I think that this might. Oh, I wanted to ask you, Moshe. You were explaining to me.
We, by the way, only talk. Well, this is our weekly conversation.
What?
This intro to the podcast. So when Natasha's like, I wanted to ask you, we haven't spoken since the last time we recorded. What's up? It is good to see you, honey. Oh, I got some big news for the listeners.
Yeah. Who've
been religiously listening. Do you know? By the way, do you know what our listener count, our subscriber count is up to? 70 million. I'm not kidding. We just got our 70 millionth subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
That's pretty good.
Totally. Do you know how much money we make on this podcast? We don't talk about this much, but just for full transparency, do you know how much money I personally pulled in last year on this podcast?
$400,000.
$26 million. I'm not kidding. 26 million. Did you only get 400,000? Oh my God. I got a check, honestly, and this is not a lie. I got a check for $778,000 from Third Love Bras. Isn't that crazy?
I like all of our sponsors.
I love all of our sponsors
and
too.
And I have to say, we do turn a lot of people down.
We turn some down. There's a lot. Yeah, you're right.
There are things that I really want to try the thing, make sure we like it.
Sometimes it just smells fishy. It'll be like
credit scores.
Right. It'll be like, hey, here's a pernicious personal loan business. Would you like to do an ad read for this? It's like, are you broke and no hope of ever climbing out of severe debt? we'll give you a $400 loan at an interest rate of 92%. Like, well, I don't think we can do this one. Believe me, I want to.
But Jenny K sweaters, we love them.
Yeah, everybody we read for, we believe in. But for our podcast listeners, for all 70 million of you, it's a big week this week. If you've been following the saga of this podcast since the beginning, because I don't know if you remember Chocolate Cake Gate from last year.
I don't remember that, and it's my podcast.
But, well, it was your birthday, and I baked you a chocolate cake.
Oh, my birthday's coming up.
And you really wanted some gifts. Now, I just want to we're going away. We're going to Joshua Tree this weekend. There's an indoor music festival that we're attending. And I just want to warn you, I did buy you a couple of gifts, but the big physical gift that I did get you is not going to be there on time. It's not going to make it.
That's okay, honey.
But you did that to me on my birthday this year, or on Hanukkah this year.
That's okay, honey.
But it'll be a gift certificate.
It's okay, honey.
It'll be a gift certificate that I think you'll like, though.
Cool.
Do the 2 words, honey.
You want to just tell me what it is?
2 words. It's a clue.
Okay.
2 words. Bentley.
Bentley?
Yeah.
You got me a Bentley?
I got you a Bentley. A custom Bentley.
Paid for by Thrive Market.
That's right. It's the Thrive Bentley. If you actually, there's a button on the center console. If you press it, peptides come out and collagen proteins.
We don't make $400,000 from our podcast.
No, we made 28 million. I made 28 million.
But I do think that I like that we are able to do it, and it's really fun. And it definitely.
You mean read ads or do the podcast?
Doing the podcast.
You looking cute tonight.
Thank you, Moshe.
Looking good. I haven't seen you in a week. Sight for sore eyes.
I actually feel a little uncomfortable right now.
Physically?
No, just.
Oh, with the way that I'm talking to you? Okay.
No, I liked it.
It's getting to the point in this culture where you can't even compliment your wife without getting canceled. You gonna cancel me, wife?
You need to go up on stage soon, Moshe.
I do. I need to get on stage. This is all I got.
You need to get out of this living room.
For real. Well, we were talking about our conversation from the last episode where you were like, oh, I got my period, and we were all like relieved or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, yeah, we were talking. I was like, yeah, it has been like kind of more intense this year, huh? Like your PMS stuff. And then I realized it probably hasn't gotten more intense. It's just that we're in a bunker. I've just been around every day, every minute, every hour.
Right. I have to live like that by myself.
Right.
When you're not there.
I deserve it a little bit.
Kind of liked having a punching bag for 10 days.
Right. Interesting. It's kind of my responsibility as a man. I was thinking, here's a pitch based on that. Anytime you do anything that upsets me, maybe I say, what are you, PMSing? What do you think of that? What are you on the rag or something like that? Just to say.
I used to love that term in 7th grade. I thought that was hilarious.
On the rag?
Yeah.
Really?
Is she on the rag?
That's
what it feels like. It's like you're on the rag.
It feels like that?
Yeah.
What does it feel like? I've never actually talked in depth to a woman about this.
There's like these like strong, for me, it's like these like really like pains like running through your stomach that like are like hurting you in a way that like is not normal.
I just realized I don't care. I do not care. I'm so sorry. No, I do. I'm joking. So cramps, but do you feel the tampon in your life, in your body?
It's so funny that's a thing you're thinking of. You're like, is it like someone's like fucking you the whole time you're like walking around?
Well, you couldn't even ask your wife about her tampon without getting canceled.
Well, no, feeling the tampon isn't the problem.
I didn't say it was the problem. I'm just curious about the sensation.
Well, for me, it was not really an issue.
If I had a wad of cotton up my ass a week, a month, I'd feel it.
Well, you get used to it after like month 9 million, whatever. I don't know how many.
You've been alive for 9 million months?
39 years of having your period. Or, wait, I guess I got it at like 14. So like 35 years or 30 years of getting a period.
Don't tell these fucking pigs how old you are.
Well, I'm just saying I've like had a period since as long as I can remember, and like every single month, which is like at least a week of every month, I'm like kind of in like I'm like on the rag.
Yeah, you're on the rag.
I'm like ready to go out and hang out in a tent.
Oh, wait, you had a thought about this. You said
Oh,
something.
I said that those tents that they used to put the women during their periods is probably because the men didn't want to talk to them.
Right. It was like all couched in this like bizarre ritual, arcane like language of like, oh, the impurities. You must do a ritual bath before you rejoin the village. But really, it was just a bunch of like patriarchal dudes like, just put her in a tent. Let's go play poker. Let's go play Bible poker.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's just the way I was like getting upset. I just thought there was no other option in my head. It just felt so normal, to like, when I thought about it, I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I so activated, And I think that hormones do it. It's probably like having testosterone. Don't men want to like fuck something every 5 seconds or something?
Do I want to fuck something every 5 seconds?
you have testosterone running through your body.
Yeah,
at a
I would
speed.
say testosterone. The feeling of feeling out of control from testosterone, like getting into a fight you don't care about, is probably similar. You're just like, I don't know what else to do in this situation, but sort of lash.
Right. Yeah, maybe it's similar then.
Must be. Oh, it's they're both. Aren't they both? They're both chemicals, right? Hormones, or is testosterone a hormone? Fuck, I don't know anything.
Well,
I dropped out of school. Tosh, I got really good news.
What?
About your period. I think we found the title to this week's episode.
Yeah.
On the Rag with Moshe and Natasha, and we would like to, I think, take a call.
Okay, let's do it. It's called Benjamin in Fargo.
Benjamin.
Hi.
Looking like a North Dakota stud right here, straight out the fucking oil fields or tundra or whatever it is you guys have.
I'm in the tundra part of the state, not the oil field part of the state.
When I first went to Alaska and I learned what tundra was, I thought it was so cool. It was like they were taking me on this walk, the people who were hosting me, and it was just this like spongy forest land. It was so amazing.
Do you have spongy forest land in North Dakota?
No, we have like knockoff tundra, so it's just flat dirt and snow.
Benjamin, my final performance prior to the pandemic was in Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh yeah.
Really?
What's crazy is Moshe and I were booked to go, and then COVID started happening, and I was kind of what I would call an early adapter. I'm the first person at Trader Joe's telling the staff what's going to happen next week.
You're a white woman. Gotcha. Yeah, but I went.
But so I was afraid, even though no one was talking about COVID yet.
It was like the week before everything shut down.
Moshe, I said, I'm not going. I canceled. Moshe asked our
Cancel
friend
culture.
to go, and they went, and they came back and said it was the most amazing show they had ever had, and the audiences, it was so great, and I felt so bad.
It was fucking awesome. It was such a good show, and then the next night, I pretty much bombed my tits off for a Jewish fundraising event. So it was like some good, some bad. I had 2 shows that weekend. North Dakota, 10 out of 10. Jewish fundraising, never fun. You know what, Benjamin, you want to know how you know you're not having fun during a gig?
How?
When you're thinking about the amount that's on the check that you're getting paid while you're performing. That's what I was thinking about the whole time. I was thinking about the check. I was just like, oh, well, the check is coming. The check.
But you didn't think that with
no, North Dakota. Good, like I would say great crowd. Anyway, we're wasting your time.
Okay, so besides knockoff tundra, what else is happening in North Dakota?
Yeah, what's happening for you?
Well, for me, I just like went through like a breakup situation, and then he kind of dropped on me that he's just moving across the country, so I've been taking that kind of hard. And I've also just been feeling really, I don't know, lost lately in my life. I'm about to finish college, and I don't want to get a job really, which is
why not?
I don't know. I just went I had spring break last week, and I just drove to the mountains with one of my roommates. And
no, you guys go to get warm on spring break. You guys will go party in like South Dakota or something, like a tropical place like that.
Well, Montana. So
okay, yeah.
They go do mushrooms in Montana.
Okay.
I mean, I wish we didn't do mushrooms, but that would be fun.
Okay, so you went to Montana for spring break with a friend.
Yeah, and so I was hoping to just like come back like refreshed, because I really hadn't been like out of the county in like a year basically. And I don't know, I came back and I just realized that I don't want to get a job. I don't want to get a desk job is my thing, and I don't know. I don't want to farm, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. I'm just feeling really lost lately.
What about college?
He's graduating. He doesn't have that excuse
Yeah.
anymore.
What was your major?
I'm majoring in like agricultural economics.
So you majored in something that you don't really want to do anymore. That's pretty much your problem.
Right. It's something I have zero interest in, but now I'm like 2 classes away from a degree. So
Okay, wait. So you're graduating with your bachelor's degree,
yeah.
and you date men?
Yeah. Both.
Okay. They both. And you have a degree in agricultural economics, but don't care about it. And you're getting your bachelor's degree, and you don't want a job. It seems very obvious to me. I mean, I would love to have fun with you, but it seems very obvious to me what you should. First of all, obviously, you might want to become a TikToker. I'm looking at your face. It just seems like you're born for the medium. But is it legal in North Dakota? I don't even know if they're allowed to have TikTok in North Dakota.
TikTok's not legal there?
They just got the internet last week. I'm not kidding. Right? Benjamin, back me up.
It's spotty in places. You pretty much got to be in town if you want to get online.
Okay.
Wait, but what's the answer? Just tell
Oh,
him.
the answer is obvious, even though my producer is letting me know you haven't asked your actual question yet. Okay. But we're on North Dakota time,
But
baby.
I want to hear what you were just going to say, though.
Oh, you got to
based on
go.
those
It's
things.
obvious. How are your grades?
They're pretty good. Like I'm on the dean's list. And
Yeah,
stuff.
homie, you got to go to graduate school in a place with a more verdant and vibrant gay community. Although you date both, I mean, why not get out there where there's like a fun community where you could
It's
meet
time to pivot, honey.
Yeah, but you don't have to get a day job. You can find something you are interested in.
But wait,
you know?
isn't graduate school really expensive?
It depends on what you go to graduate school for. Sometimes if you want to go, what would you do? By the way, now I'm curious.
Because you're confusing job with a place that you don't want to be because you already decided you don't want to do that for a living. But like there might be many other jobs you want.
And also, I don't understand, Benjamin, before we get to your real question, I don't understand the hesitation to commit your life to agricultural economics. It seems to me that is every boy's dream.
He doesn't want to sit in an office. He wants something exciting, but you need to do some soul searching.
He doesn't want to sit in an office and do a spreadsheet database about the threshers in the corn husky. The wheat threshers are 42 cents a widget pickle.
That sounds really hard.
Okay, what's
It's literally like what I learned. Like not even exaggerating.
What
It's
he
like,
just said?
basically like yeah.
Here's the secret, Benjamin, before we get to your real question. No one uses their bachelor's degree. Bachelor's degrees don't matter. They aren't important.
Mine's in like visual arts.
Yeah, I mean, mine's in religious studies. You know, it's like I mean, I did do that Jewish fundraiser, but that's about it. The bachelor's degree is the high school diploma of our generation, unfortunately, because it's a lot more expensive than getting a high school diploma. So
I went to state school, and you can like go to the City University of New York for like state tuition if you live there.
But okay, I want to ask 2 questions. But
Which was like $1,200 a month, a year, I think, for like great teachers. Like there's so many. If you can like if you want to move to a big city, like you could establish residency and then go to the state college or school and get a master's program, master's degree in something that's really interesting to you.
But talk to us. What's the real question?
Well, I mean, I didn't like have like a I don't know, like a black and white question to ask. I'm more so just like looking for general life advice. And I don't know, like I guess
my producer's calling you a liar. I'll just tell you that. She said you did have a very concrete question.
Well, it was like kind of like about like moving. Like you already kind of like said that I should move, which like I know I think I don't know. People say like don't move to solve your problems, but I feel like it would solve quite a few of mine.
Right. They say wherever you go, there you are. Right. But they don't mention that if you start in North Dakota, wherever you go is better.
Right. Exactly.
Sorry, I loved Fargo. I really did. But I just
Wait, you love the movie Fargo?
No,
that has nothing to do with...
No, he lives in Fargo.
I thought you were like...
We're going to have to... That's an edit point right there.
Why?
No, I'm joking. Okay, but what would you do if you... What would you like to do? Like, what's a job that does sound appealing to you?
Lately, I've really been thinking that if I was going to do something like with school after this school that I'm in right now, I would want to do like environmental law, like fight against the oil companies and stuff.
I mean, this is just
That's
so.
amazing. That would be that's what we need. That's what I tell my child to be I'm like, I want her to be something in the environment, like environmental science or environment. Like that to me is the future, and jobs and environment. Like, how can we make those? And you're at the forefront. You're going to be one of the older people in this industry because it's going to be a new industry. And I think it's such a cool place to get in, and you can teach people so much and teach the young people so much. And how do you make it exciting? Remember when Google all of a sudden made like all of these special like playlands for adults to like take their tricycle to work and like play ping pong all day? Like there should be something like, how can we excite the youth into getting jobs in environmental
Well, you know the difference between the
studies.
environmental studies departments and Google?
What?
Like $100 billion. They can afford to buy all the ping pong balls. You're lucky to get a granola bar.
Well, I'm just saying this is going to become more and more important.
No, I love this.
So I think that, this is a forefront. This is like, when people said in the 20s, they came to Hollywood and like, oh, it's just open land. Nothing's there. I mean, by the way, I know nothing about the environment in terms of like I just know it's needed. I don't know like what's in place exactly, but I know that like this is such an exciting area because this is it. We have to do something.
I think Natasha's onto something. Okay, we got your field, environmental studies. Now, where would you like to live geographically? Forget the job. Where would you like to be living?
Probably somewhere in Montana, just because it's mountains, but it's like cheaper than Colorado.
Montana. Okay. Is it? But I have a hard time imagining there's a great. Well, maybe there is in Billings. Not Billings. Where's the Bozeman? Is that the cool university?
Yeah, that's the cool place.
And do they have a good environmental studies law program there?
I think they do, actually.
Okay, your problem seems very solvable and easy. You move to listen. I wasn't going to say Bozeman, although I will say Bozeman's amazing. I've been there. Have you ever been there?
No.
I did comedy there, and they call it the Berkeley of Montana or something like that.
Oh, that place sounds cool.
Of the Rockies? Are the Rockies there? Anyway, the point is you got to get to Denver, Colorado, or Montana. Just move, establish residency in these states, get a job. I would say probably I'm going to go with like a bartender at like a bar where you're shirtless, because I'm looking at you. I can't see your body from here, but I can kind of feel that you have a really good one, because you keep saying the mountains. So I'm picturing a lot of pull-ups and stuff. So you probably have like a cut body. You get a body at one of these like cocktail bars, where you're like twirling bottles of vodka for older men, and they're tipping you well. You save some money, you establish residency, and then you go to school somewhere else. It's very obvious. You're stuck. You're depressed. That's what it is.
And one more thing I wanted to say is, you say that you're feeling like what Moshe said, depressed and a little lost. And the one thing that I think is really important right now is to understand that like that is what everybody feels, and like that is normal, like that
because of the circumstances we're all in.
Yeah, like
right.
Everyone's been in a cocoon for a year, so like just really try to not be so hard on yourself and realize everybody's feeling it, and it's like it's very strong, and everyone's gonna do different things, but like everyone's going through a transition right now.
But how old are you?
And so
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like, just be easy on yourself, and
Totally.
and know that you can get through it, and you'll get through it, by yourself or with friends or family or whatever it is. But everyone will get through it together anyway.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
21. You're feeling ennui. You're feeling lost a little bit depressed, not sure what the next move is. So the next move is very obvious. The next move is to find adventure. This is the age for you to find adventure. 21 is perfect. You have no ties. You have no boyfriend. You guys just broke up. Amazing. How lucky. What a gift he gave you by getting the fuck out of your life so that you could go find an adventure. I'm saying get your money right. Get out of North Dakota and go exploring, and then land in a place like Montana or Colorado, establish residency, and then go get a fucking environmental law degree, because we need you, and that it makes you passionate. We just planned out your whole fucking life. Spend the next 6 months to a year, especially the summer, bumming around.
No, he can't though. He's gonna have to get a job to pay for stuff.
No. Just bum around. Get out. Do you have any dependents? Are you with
He doesn't want to like get a job at Starbucks or something.
No, I'm saying hit the road, dude. Look at that face. You don't think somebody's going to pay his bills? You're good. You just got to get out on the road and have some fun, have some adventure, see the country, see the world. It won't backfire unless you get murdered, which is possible. It won't backfire. You will come away from an adventure like that and go, shit, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I tossed my spirit into the wind. And guess what I found when I got to Montana? Myself.
Right.
Moshe's really cocky tonight.
That's true. I am a bit full of myself.
How does that sound to you? Unrealistic?
No, I mean, that's like, I definitely think I need to do that. It's just good to hear that from other people.
It takes strength to move from your hometown. You know,
Totally.
It's a lot. You know, it takes a lot of energy. There's a lot of people who might be disappointed. You know, there's a lot of managing expectations. You might be the person, I'm not saying you are, who's like always in charge of your family. And so to leave them, you feel, you know, guilty. And, you know, there's just so many things that can go into leaving, and it's hard and expensive. And it's just something that you really have to know in your heart is going to be better for you. Like, it was never an option for me to stay where I was born. Like, I was like, it was just never, you know. So I think, but Moshe, you told me before that you would have moved to New York, but you wouldn't have ever wanted to leave your family.
Well, I did. I moved to Los Angeles.
But you didn't want to go that far.
I didn't want to leave my family, but I happened to live in the Bay Area and next to Los Angeles, so I had the opportunity to be in a world-class place. Not that Fargo's not, but you know the best advice somebody once gave me about leaving the Bay Area, because I was terrified. Is this part of it? Are you a little scared to leave the world you know?
Definitely. I think I'm more scared than I think I am, just because I grew up like working and living on a family farm with like not just like my parents and my siblings, but like my aunt and uncle and my grandparents, like super involved, like, and
that
like
sounds like a nice upbringing.
Yeah, you had a. It sounds like you had a good. Well, we don't know. It could have been horrifying, but it sounds like you had a good childhood. Like, and similar with me. I mean, I loved where I lived, and I didn't want to leave, but somebody gave me great advice when I was really scared to move to LA and see if I could make it here. They go, the thing about moving, especially when you have a home base, especially when you have a multi-generation home base, you can always go back. It's not a permanent decision. You can leave.
That room's probably still available, right?
Exactly. Yeah, they're not, they're going to have it all still with your jersey, where they were like, oh, football or whatever. You know what I mean? Corn thresher of the year. You remember when you won the corn patty contest? You were the homecoming corn. But you just but now you can go back. I mean, what a blessing you have. You have a good family, and that you can say, oh, it didn't work for me. I can go back. And knowing that gave me so much comfort, because then I was always thinking, oh, if I leave, I'm gone forever. But that's not true. You might leave and go like, oh, you know what? Actually, North Dakota's for me. But you'll never know unless you go. What kind of car do you drive?
Like it's like a crossover type.
Can you sleep in it?
Yeah, I have many times.
Oh man, go spend the summer exploring the country. This is an amazing place. You haven't gotten out of the county? Try the country. Drive to New York this summer. You know how fucking crazy New York is going to be?
Oh my God, you would have so much fun. But he's going to come back like...
addicted to meth. I know. We know that. But it's worth it. You'll go to rehab.
Do you have like a chaperone you could take to like all through like the most beautiful New England, like kind of cities all like in July and August, and then make your way to Manhattan?
Go have an adventure.
I'm constantly trying to convince my friends to leave with me over the weekend.
No weekend.
But you know what? Here's the thing. If you go to a bigger city, you'll find more friends who will do fun shit with you, because these people might be a little more set in their ways, and they don't have eyes on like adventure. Because if they did, they wouldn't fucking stay there.
Yeah, you
probably.
You got to pack up the
I mean, I don't mean to speak for them, but that's probably. I think there's like a better choice of finding compatibility in bigger cities, right?
I mean, he doesn't want to live in a big city, which is fine, but you should go explore them. Go get out there. Pack up the Subaru. Hit the road. You must do it. Commit to us that this summer, you're going to leave and you're going to go on a grand adventure and find what lies for you on the road, because I promise it's something good.
I mean, I'll commit to that just to give me any more motivation to actually do it. Because I've always said like I want to just like spend a like a month or a summer just living in my car, I should just do that.
I think you need to have some rules, though.
What are the rules? Let's go over them.
Well, something about like not too much socialization and drinking.
Well, don't drink and drive, but you know that
That's
rule.
a rule.
But what do you mean? What socialization and
I
drinking?
just feel like
you're
he could,
scared
he
that
could
we're
get,
sending him to his
well,
doom?
he's so sweet. I'm like, I could see him. Like, I see how Moshe wants to like, squat on BML land, and like it's where people practice their gun.
This guy is a North Dakota
people practice their target practice.
fifth generation farmer.
Moshe wants to set up the playpen. It's like and then he's this like hot kid.
Yeah, but he's a farmer. You tell me you haven't spent the night on BLM land in your life.
I honestly don't know what BLM land
It's the
is.
Bureau of Land Management. They probably own your house. They own half of Montana.
But it's like Moshe thinks he's the only one who knows about it. Everyone knows about it. Like everyone who's like running from the law.
Oh, anyway, don't listen to Natasha. She can get worried. I'm telling you, look at you. You're a young, attractive white man.
Okay,
the world is your oyster.
But he should have enough money. I just don't want him like needing money in Boston.
I think you just go. You just got to go.
Sleeping in his car.
If you can afford it, just go. Go. I just think adventure. Go. You must go. You must travel. Go west, young man, or east.
And maybe I do like the idea of driving. Whatever clears your head, whatever like makes you think, whatever like give yourself a little space, because I think that's what we all need right now. We need space. People who've been alone. You've probably been quarantined with your family, right?
Well, he's in North Dakota. He hasn't quarantined.
Well, I mean, he's been.
I've been better than way like most people for sure.
Have you not spent more time with your family than you recently than you have in like most of your life?
Well, actually, I haven't seen my family a lot lately. I've been just mostly cooped up in my like house with my roommates.
I see. Okay.
Dude, it's time for a change. It's so obvious.
I'm just thinking like, do people who've been alone, quarantining or like being alone a lot want to be alone more right now? I need like time to myself because I've been every single waking moment I'm with Moshe.
Yeah, but that would be awesome. Actually, Benjamin, if you want to hang out,
like,
come on through.
I need help.
No, here's what you do. Make a little plan, find a way to make a little money on the road. So maybe it's like, oh, I hear there's a job in such and such, and you go do a job for a week, do a little bit of that corn labor that you're so accustomed to, grab some money, and then skip to the next town, get to Manhattan, just have some fun.
What's he like Ben Franklin?
Go to the Florida
just
Keys.
Arrived.
I'm just saying it's not.
See if someone has a soggy loaf of bread to hand you, and
all I'm saying is that a lot of people just
polish your shoes.
People stay stuck in their circumstances because they're afraid of what would happen if they leave. But the truth is, for a person in your level of familial privilege, that you could always call your parents, it sounds like, and say, I fucked up. I need some gas money. I'm coming home. So fucking go do it. Go find out what's out there. I bet you there's such cool shit out there for you.
Yeah, that's like really great advice, honestly. It's really nice to hear that from people that I respect, I guess.
Heck yeah.
Do you respect me too? Even though I know nothing about environmental.
I was just like hyping myself up before I came in here to talk to you guys, to my roommate.
Well, if this is you hyped up, I just think that.
Well, I'm nervous.
No, you seem awesome, and I think you're gonna. I really just believe.
I feel like you could save the world. That's why I got so like excited that he was in an environmental field.
That's what I'm saying. I think there are programs.
And it's like reconnecting with the passion or the thing, or like you're from a farm, like that's you can do so much more. You know about so much more than most people. And remember that thing you were saying, Moshe, about how like now that kind of thing is something that people need to know. What were you saying? Like. At the end of the world, like
I think we were talking about this book. Did you ever read World War Z, Benjamin?
Okay, I didn't read it, but I've seen the movie.
Well, the movie's good, but the book is great. And there's this passage in there where they talk about at the end of when the zombies come. At the end, all of a sudden, all of the people all of the people that weren't of the like obnoxious intelligentsia became just suddenly switched into the most important people in society. So all the like writers and lawyers and comedians and actors were useless because the zombies were there. Nobody gave a fuck about their little, heady thoughts. But the people that like knew how to fix a toaster,
Like who can farm?
or how to farm, or how to wrench on a diesel engine, those all of a sudden were the most important people in the new society. So I think that's sort of what you mean,
And
right?
what I'm saying is this comes from, it's in your blood. Like you just know so much about it. It does feel like you're a natural person to be in one of these environmental fields.
I got it. I got your future. I got your life. Benjamin, you ready? Here's your life. You start now because you have to leave by the summer. Okay, it's just spring, so you have 3 months to start planning. What you do is you research farms like urban farms throughout the country in places that you want to visit. And you start contacting them and say, I'm a 4th generation farmer in North Dakota. I'm going on a little adventure. Can I stop there and volunteer at your farm for a week or two in exchange for food or maybe shelter or whatever they've got that they can offer you? And that's how you plan your itinerary. In the meantime, you start researching law schools that will give grants to people that want to dedicate themselves to environmental law, because I think that is one of those law school fields where you can get a grant going.
And he can write the best letters about his 3rd generation, multi-generational farm. Like that's like,
absolutely,
you're going to get like student aid for that.
And by the way, even better, it's going to shock you that you will be able to put your bachelor's degree to use, the one you don't like, by telling these farms, not only can I help you with the agriculture stuff, but if you guys are having any problems with your books, baby, I got a bachelor's degree in agricultural economics, so I can help you with that too. I almost guarantee, because there's urban farms in every city in America, that people are going to be like, wow, we have an actual real farmer that's down to come volunteer, that you're going to get some bites on that. And that will be how you plan your itinerary. And you don't have to stay in the big city. We just want you to explore it. Then you can go, okay, so here you go. You go east, then see New York, go to Florida, maybe go to the Keys, whatever, find these urban farms, wherever you can get a bite, go through the Southwest, the most beautiful country in the world, as you know, come back up through Utah, looking at, Arches, amazing, then pop up into Montana, and baby, you're home. Time to establish residency in Bozeman, get your life together as an environmental studies a person, marry both a man and a woman in an untraditional triad relationship, and then eventually run for president of the United States and save us all from global warming.
That sounds honestly perfect.
I love it. Same here. I love it.
You're lucky Moshe's on fire tonight.
Will you write us from the road and tell us how it's going? We really would love to know.
Absolutely.
Okay, Benjamin.
Okay, bye, Ben. We got to go.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck. Have a good summer.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay, bye.
I really mean it. I really think that dude, I mean, imagine you're like an urban farm trying to figure out how to do any agriculture, and some fucking beefcake from North Dakota is like, I'm a 4th generation farmer with a degree in agricultural economics. Do you think I could volunteer for free? They'd be like, they would.
Yeah, but then that puts you in a position. You got to think about what you want from life. I'm not someone who wants to like talk to random farmers on a vacation.
You're not 21.
Right. But also like, how much work do you have to do?
I mean, that.
What if he doesn't want to? What if he's lazy?
But he's on permanent vacation. That's what we just sent him on. I wonder if he'll do it. God, if he did it, and we were like this conversation was the most like, was the firing, the demarcation line of his life.
Well, that's the fun thing about being young.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Because I'm working on a book right now, and I'm thinking about when I was like 23 and I went to Australia with like a 41-year-old. But I remember I was like so happy I like had that terrible experience when I was 23.
Did you know it at the time?
And not like 40 or like 35.
You mean you feel that happiness now, or you felt it at the time?
No, I would just remember feeling so lucky. I felt like I learned this huge lesson. And then even after, I'm like, I've just been so much better ever since. But like, anyway, I just think it's like so good to like be young and like just throw your heart into things and like just be like, do something crazy or go move somewhere, get married. I don't know, like just go for it. Switch careers, move to New York. I don't know, like you could just do whatever.
Wherever that guy wants to land.
But when you're old, you can't, like if you
it's harder.
Have kids, it becomes much harder.
Yeah, Benjamin is going to have a good summer, and it's all thanks to us. Natasha, would you like to hear a couple of secrets?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's play a couple of secrets.
But he was depressed, and I think we really helped him.
Well, I mean, yeah. He was stuck.
I just always worry that people don't have it takes a lot to like, it's not just like the thought. It takes like
That's why that
gumption or, like,
Totally.
What's the Jewish word?
chutzpah.
Yeah. Like
You're
who
right.
has chutzpah?
Well, nobody, but some people have chutzpah. That was me making fun of you not being able to do the guttural CH.
I'm just saying having chutzpah,
Pretty good.
that's so much of it, and that is kind of just inherent.
But that's where that advice you can always go home comes from. The whole chutzpah thing that you need is because you're thinking of it like you're, cutting ties with your past and sailing into a new vista of life. And I don't know if I'm ready for that. But in reality, all you do is you get in your car and you drive and then see what's out there. And then if you are like, I hate this, then you can go home. It's not that complicated or that scary when you break it up into something like that. That's what I think.
Yeah, but I just think people are looking at like the next 30 years of their lives and they're like, what am I going to do for money? How am I going to buy a house? And then I look on my phone and everyone's in like this amazing house and I live in an apartment. And what am I going to do?
But I'm rich with
do
experience.
I have to go to get a job as a waiter? Like, do I hate my career? It just feels like it could be very overwhelming.
Yeah, if you are prone to worry and you want to worship your worry, then it can be overwhelming. But if you realize that the people that have the big house by the time they're 30 are people who didn't do anything from 20 to 30, it's like I'd much rather live in an apartment at 30 than I would live in a big house and have zero experiences. But that's just me. Everybody's different. And Benjamin, I think he's like me.
Can we hear some secrets?
Yeah.
Hi. I've pretty much already asked everybody I know if they listen to this podcast, and they've said no. So if anybody recognizes it, please keep your mouth shut. But since I was a kid, I have been obsessed with wearing women's clothing. I don't know. I could love it. I love it so much. It's so good. I'd like the frillier, the better. Like maid outfits and lace and I can't get enough of it. But either way, I've kind of been only me. One time I tried to tell my wife about it, and she slapped me in the face and told me I was a man, and I was like, oh, okay, and never brought it up again. But the real thing that I just need to talk about is the fact that, like, I ordered a fuck machine, and it didn't go to my parents' house or anything, but it fucking went to, it went to the wrong address, and I am going to go pick it up after work. And I need to basically just keep it secret. All right. Anyways, thanks. Love the podcast. Bye.
So he was like, I'm going to call him on my way to get the fuck machine.
First of all, what's a fuck? What's a fuck machine?
I'm assuming it's like probably like a sex doll.
I guess. I don't know. It's always funny to me when people call the secrets hotline thinking they're telling a secret that's like really crazy and then revealing that they don't know what their own secret is. Because he's like, my really crazy secret is I like to dress in women's clothes. Isn't that scandalous? And I'm like, no, not really. And he's like, yeah, it's just crazy. I'm just a crazy guy with a crazy secret. Anyway, I told my wife and she punched me in the face. But that's neither here nor there. I'm like, no, back up. That's the secret. The secret is you're in an abusive relationship with a weird.
He tried to talk to his
and
wife
she said
about...
you're a man and slapped him in the face. Sorry, that your secret is not that you like dressing in women's clothes. It's that you live with an abusive homophobe or what? I don't know what the phobe is. It's like, was that true? I almost didn't believe it.
He seemed like he had like 2 glasses of wine.
Right, that could be on this drive to the fuck machine house. Dude, that was crazy. Because I was thinking when he's saying all the I like to dress in frilly women's clothes. I was like, oh, well, this is a lucky guy that doesn't know it yet because there's a community of people that like to, cross dress. I wonder, is that the right most modern term for it? But you know what I mean? It's to dress in women's clothes. It's not a gender thing. It's like a fetish thing. There's like huge communities of people like that. And like he could discover these people online, and then he's like, I'm all alone. Well, I did tell my wife once, and she gave me a quick pop in the nose. It's like, fuck, dude, get help.
Also, I like that he enlisted like everyone he knew. He's like, I told every person I met about your podcast, and no one had ever heard about it.
But also, it's like, what a surefire way to make sure that your friends are like, what's up with Dave? We should listen to that podcast and see if he's okay.
Well, I think. What do you think about it? It seemed like he was acting like the sex machine is cheating on his wife, which is not cool.
I mean, I'd cheat on her too.
It shouldn't be covert, right? Like if you have a sex machine, it should be something you tell me you have.
Yeah, I would definitely tell you I bought a sex machine. If the last time I told you something sexually adventurous about me, you slapped me in the face and said, be a man. What is this? What is your wife? You're a dad from a 1960s basketball film? What? Be a man? That's a bad wife right there. For real. Find yourself a cross-dressing woman who likes to dress in tuxedos and get out there.
Yeah. Well.
Should we play another?
Yeah.
A t'other?
Hi, I have a secret. When I was in middle school, I went to this expensive summer camp for like a Christian summer camp. And one of the nights we found in our cabin some old granny panties that looked like they had some like period spots in it. And we thought it was from the neighboring cabin of girls who were kind of all like ritzy and snobby, preppy. They were rude, not very cool. So we thought it would be funny to write whatever cabin name they were, like Coyote Cabin sucks, in red pen on the underwear and hang it on their door for everyone to see, and then highlight the area to make it look more bloody and period on the underwear. So we did that and got away with it. Well, we did it, and immediately got in trouble after it was found out, and just realized probably like a month afterwards that those were my underwear. I had accidentally packed my mom's underwear in my bag by mistake and wore them, and nobody knows that they were actually mine and not from the neighboring cabin. And I never told anyone, and no one will ever know. And hopefully they don't listen to this. Yep. Thanks, you guys. Big fans. Bye.
Wow, that's a hard situation to put yourself in, where it's so funny like you don't say it. Like even though you're friends with all these people, like I feel like as a comedian it'd be hard to be
You'd always be like, guess what, guys? Those are my underwear. That's funny. You're so right.
Whereas like to be that maybe that's one of the freeing things about comedy is you are the person who's like, actually those are mine.
Absolutely.
Because that feels like a good joke.
You're so right. Comedians are always like tying a rope to their waist and jumping into their own darkest memories to strip mine their experience for material.
Right.
And that is freeing. There was an AA speaker once, this guy Cliff Roach, I think. He said, "You'll never again be ashamed of something you laugh at." And I thought that was kind of deep idea. He was like, he was a very funny AA speaker, and he said, like, if you laugh at something, you can never be ashamed of it again. And I thought that was really true. I really do think that's true.
Yeah, but anyway, I've definitely done things that cruel though. Especially, I mean, when you first learn about like people's periods, like it's hilarious.
It's on.
It's just like
it's just totally on.
It's fascinating. Even now, my daughter will like be in the bathroom with me, and I don't want her to see that I have to like shove something up me because like I'm bleeding.
You don't? I was trying to explain
I don't know.
it.
I was like, I don't want to tell her I'm bleeding. It might scare her.
It's funny you mentioned that because she saw one of your tampon. This is a very period heavy. This is a heavy flow episode. She saw one of your tampon like garbage, the cylinder or whatever in the garbage, and she's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh gosh, it's mom's. It's called a tampon." And she's like, "What is it? What's it for?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, when girls become women, they." And I didn't know how to say it because it was just like seemed so weird.
Right,
like
me too.
I go, they bleed from their vaginas sometimes.
And then I didn't want her to see me putting something up my vagina because
you thought she might.
Well, because
Try to
she's always
emulate
like
it?
putting things up her nose, and you know what I mean. I'm like, I don't want to like encourage.
Wait, what are you supposed to say? It's a part of being a woman. I said that. It's part of growing up. But I mean, the actual physicality of it, I was just like, yeah, it's hard to figure out how to say
I'm
it.
old school. You know what I do?
What?
Mommy needs privacy. Get out.
I know, I hear you, but I'm just saying, eventually you have to tell him something like, it's interesting because there's no way, I guess she's just maybe too young. There's no way, it feels like there's no way to tell a little kid about like a natural bleeding without them being like, oh my God, I'm terrified.
I have this memory, like I was because I used to work at a grocery store in Rockford, and I was very, very, very passionate about if people picked paper or plastic.
What was the right answer? Paper?
And if they picked plastic, I would like become red, and I would get really mad. And it was like this whole thing. It was I don't think it was a very long period. But anyway, I remember one time we went to the grocery store and I didn't get a bag for my tampons because I told my mom I have to run in and get, I was like a teenager. I have to run in and get tampons. I get them. I come out without a bag holding them. And she was just like, don't ever do that. That is appalling. Like that was like such a wrong thing to do. Cause I mean, I wanted to like save a bag, but at the same time, like the period was like a shameful thing that is just kind of bred in you. So I don't really know how to teach the point is, I don't know what to tell my kid about a period.
But your attitude was right. You're like, why do I need a fucking bag? This is so natural. I've never understood this idea where guys are like embarrassed to go to the store and get tampons for their it's just so dumb.
Right.
Like, what do you? Everyone knows why you're there. No one's like, what are you using these for? You? It's just like It's such a weird idea.
It just means you're like getting laid.
I guess I'm like really progressive and just smart and kind of with it. I don't know. Do you get that impression?
But anyway, if anyone has any tips on because sometimes really smart people write to us, and people who are therapists, I really don't know what to say to my child about that, because I also
one person last week wrote, when I was talking about my mom, they wrote me on Instagram. They're like, please get your mother to complete a battery of CR physical therapy because that's not normal to have vertigo. And I was get my mother to do. I don't just go to her house and be like, hey mom, in the car, it's time for a battery of CR therapy. It was like so weird the way she put it. Let me see if I can. It was the spirit of it was nice, but it was definitely like she was ordering me, like I have the power to go tell my adult mother, like, you must do anything. She won't even fucking clean up the cardboard boxes.
Anyway,
right.
I don't think my mother was teaching me that my period was shameful. Really, she
Sounds
was
like it.
Well, she was just doing what she was taught. They, really taking like a conscious step into like how you're going to teach your kid about stuff. That seems like something that is a luxury to have when you have kids. Maybe when you're a little older and have more life experience.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure there's a right answer. There's got to be a right answer. So write us. Let us know. What's the way? How old? Okay, here's my two questions. How old are you should the kid be when you start explaining like periods and things?
And then also,
and how do you do it?
But then also, I'm also interested how old you start talking to them about like, slavery. Like we have this Rosa Parks book, and like we're reading it to her, and I just wonder, like, it
is tough.
My instinct is no age is too young.
But it is tough because when we read that book, and it talks about Rosa Parks and it talks about segregation, and it's like, oh God, I'm introducing this idea.
Isn't that important?
Yeah. It is important to talk about. And obviously, there's no world in which she grows up and somehow misses it, obviously.
And she asked for a Rosa Parks book because she was around a older girl, and she has this book about Frida Kahlo, and it's like right away talking about how she got into a car accident and like lost her limbs. And I was like reading this to her.
Didn't lose her limbs.
Or she like was paralyzed.
Right.
Was in a sick bed. And like, I was reading this to her when she was like 1 and 2. And then I'm like, do I want to put like these like images of but then, you have to teach them about.
The question is how to balance the responsibility of teaching kids about the ugliness of the world, which is important to do, with also this idea that like, wow, I'm like literally introducing the idea of inequity and of, I guess the idea
But maybe that's what conscious parenting is about, because that's what I want to be. I want to be someone who's like, how can I teach my kid the right the thing that's going to set her up for like success in the way that she can make a difference in the world.
I don't know. I was just
and
always
maybe that's just trying to control it.
I don't
She'll
know.
just hate me when she's 9, starting at 9.
Probably. I mean, I was always pretty familiar with oppression. So the transition to like racial and gender and sexual orientation oppression wasn't that difficult for me to wrap my brain around, because oppression was such a big topic in my family because of my mom's deafness. That it was like all these other things felt like they were.
You guys already felt like you were kind of like the stepchildren of society, or
something like that. And the idea that there was oppression in the world was not new or unfamiliar when it started getting ported over into education about racism and about, sexism and homophobia. That stuff was already kind of in our family discussion or whatever. But anyway, all right, write us.
Yeah,
Write us.
if you have any expertise. And these people are waiting for us to call
Okay,
them.
let's do another call. We will now call Anna in Vancouver. I know an Anna in Vancouver, and I really hope it's not her.
Vancouver seems like the place that like you'd want to be at the end of the world.
I mean,
like
totally.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Cool.
It's where that guy Benjamin should eventually end up.
Yeah, Vancouver, that's going to be like, you should buy property, Anna.
Yeah, Anna, we think you should buy property. Okay?
I would for that.
Yeah. That's all right. That's our advice to
We
you.
think Vancouver is like, seems like, I dated a Canadian once and he always said that like Canada was like America's like well-behaved brother. And I remember I always kind of have this idea that, they're like the successful kind of like guy who kind of figured it out, or girl or gal. Anyway,
Anna, what's happening?
You're lucky.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been raining today, so it's rough with the rain here. You got to get used to that if you're living in
I
Vancouver.
forgot the weather sucks. Never mind. I take all that back.
Yeah.
All right, Anna, what's happening? How can we help?
I'll
Talk
stay
to
in
us.
California.
Okay. So I'm dating this guy for like 2 years or so. We just moved in together about a year ago. And then, of course, the pandemic hit. So it's been a tough transition moving to Vancouver. But thankfully, he has a really big friend group, which is really nice, but a lot of them are guys. So I often find myself ending up on these like boys' weekends. So the most recent example is we went up to Whistler for a ski trip, which was like a 2-hour drive from here. And I agreed to go. And then I found out that like 3 other guys are coming with us. So we go up.
Wait, do you think you're going just with this one guy as like your boyfriend kind of thing?
Yeah, like he proposed it as being like, we'll just go to
Right.
Whistler.
Right,
and then
right,
I was
right.
like, oh, one guy's going to come. And then one roommate's going to come. And I was like, okay, I guess it's fine. Like I already want to go.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, keep going.
And then it just kind of turned into this like guys' weekend of like drugs and like
Ugh.
talking about Fast and Furious plots. And I was like, I'm not.
Oh my God. I hope you stayed at like
I
a
can't
nice
get-
place.
We did actually. And it was nice weather. There was like snow and stuff. So
Okay.
it was great. But
All right, keep talking.
it just honestly, it was a fine weekend, but like the nail in the coffin was I had to drive home because they were all hungover. And then the one guy decided to take a phone call on speakerphone, basically the whole drive, while the other ones talked about their crypto investments. So I'm just wondering what your advice would be. Like, should I just like not go on these boys' weekends, or is there a way to like make it work?
His friends are rude because like anyone in any person in a car who decides to take on a 2-hour drive a phone call on speakerphone. Do you know anyone like that, Moshe?
No one.
No one I know, and I would never remain friends with someone who would do something like that.
Yeah, nobody would do that around me because I would create a huge scene. I would not.
I almost drove off the road. Like I made a big
And
scene.
you're
like, I thought-
driving?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this seems like not, you guys need to like you need to, he needs to earn a bachelor vacation with you, and I don't think you need to tell him in those terms, but I do think that like you guys kind of have to get to know each other and go away with each other a little bit, alone before you're going. And you can tell him that. You can say, listen, I find some of your friends rude and I'm a woman and I wanted to hang out with you. And next time you want to take me somewhere, just let me know what the parameters are because, this is what you say. I need to know, you kind of sprung this stuff on me and yeah, your friends, they're fine in doses, but next time let me know who's going because then I can make my decision. I'm busy. You know, I wouldn't have gone on a vacation, you know, with these 4 guys, but I would go with you. So it's not really fair, actually. You kind of got hijacked, and he deserves to be confronted.
It sounds a bit like a rom-com plot, doesn't it? Like, you know what I mean? This like guy that seems really cool, but then all of a sudden he's like, actually, it's a guys' weekend, and then you get there and they're like, oh, do you got any Dogecoin?
But
I'm heavily invested in Dogecoin, and then one guy's on the speaker.
Conversation is all too familiar,
right? I mean,
but are you guys like? Is he interested in you? Because that's not
they live
really
together.
Oh, you
Yeah, we
live
live
with
together.
him?
We're seriously like he's a wonderful guy. It's just when they get around the guys, they really there's a lot of male energy.
Let me point.
If Moshe all of a sudden brought like 4 of his friends tomorrow to Joshua Tree, for my birthday, I would like
leave me.
Definitely
consider it.
Consider moving to Billings.
Let me just with Benjamin.
Yeah.
Let me just point out to you what I heard you say. Just let me mirror this, because I'm actually a really deep guy and I'm able to mirror people back to themselves. You describe, first of all, you said those guys are rude. The truth is the guys aren't rude because they don't owe you anything. They're just dumb guys talking about Dogecoin and having, you know, speakerphone conversations. I mean, they're rude, but the actual violator in this story is not them. It's
her boyfriend.
Your boyfriend for bringing these guys. It's not like he's having fun times and you're like along for the ride. It's he's being inconsiderate and you're missing that. You said your 2 options you said were, do I just not go, or do I just like kind of accept it? This is the mirror part of our conversation. The 2 options that you proposed were, should I either stay home and not have fun, or should I accept that my boyfriend is going to bring on like anybody he met from college? And it's like, what about the 3rd option, which is telling your boyfriend what you need and saying that wasn't very considerate of you?
Without starting a fight even.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. And I made it very clear to all these guys that I found them very annoying all weekend.
Sure.
And I'm like,
but that's...
and I'm open about that. It's just like, I don't know. I don't want to come off like I'm being like mean as well. Like I don't want to offend anybody.
You're missing it again. No, the guys are doing their thing. They're out there like doing their own thing, being crypto guys. Your job is not to figure out how to talk to them. Not that you should never go on a guys trip again, but this is a story about an inconsiderate boyfriend, not about 4 dumb bros that he met.
Good point. So what do I just lay down the law and I say, need to be clear next time?
I mean, you don't need to say you need to do anything. You could say, I would appreciate it if you would let me know that kind of thing, because that's not, you know, a week, and you can flatter him. A week away with you is like a dream. But like for me, a weekend in Whistler with like those 4 fraternity brothers, do they have that in Canada? You know, but not it's kind of a bummer, you know, and you just tell them honestly. You don't have to be like, you need to listen to me, you know, like that's not how you have to talk to your boyfriend, right, Moshe?
So you don't talk to me like that. That's true. Do you have any hobbies?
Do I have any hobbies? Yeah, I like to snowboard and I hike and we kayak. And
I'm just saying, like, it seems to be...
And balancing couple time with fun. He's going to be like, well, I just like to hang out with my friends. And you can be like, well, you know, yeah, I love it when you hang out with your friends, honey. But I want to, you know, as long as we like also do, like, when's our next trip? You know, let's do every other trip.
But
and
also,
that's fair, because then you guys can like connect as a couple, and then he can still
but also you
relive
always
his fantasies of being a child.
If I was with a male friend and my male friend that I had plans to go skiing with or whatever was like, oh, by the way, I'm bringing 2 other friends that you don't know, I would be like, fuck no. You got to run that shit by me. And I'm not trying to have a romantic, intimate relationship with him. I'm trying to not spend time around people I don't know and don't like. You know what I'm saying? That would be inconsiderate. If I just had plans with a homie, and he was like, "Yo, we're bringing 4 crypto investors, just so you know." Like I would be like, dude. Like,
wait, what's crypto?
Like
Cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency.
Is that like Bitcoin?
Yeah, Bitcoin.
Oh, but they're calling it crypto.
Yeah, it's been called crypto.
Crypto's pretty cool sounding.
It does sound cool. So I don't think you need to have a conversation where you're like, we need more intimacy. I think you need to have a conversation where you go, yo, that wasn't cool.
Yeah.
That seems obvious. And you can stay home. Stay home if you need to.
I mean, like, I'm okay staying home, but it's also like it's fun to go skiing. So like I want to be included. Like I'm invited. They want me to come.
But this is different. It's different. If he had come to you and said, "Hey, me and the boys are going skiing. Do you want to come?" Then you got to go.
That's all I'm saying. He just needs to be upfront with you. And if he's not at the point where it's like, okay, every other one will be a romantic one, fine. But at least let him tell you what to expect, because you might have declined.
I would never.
Yes, exactly.
I would never.
And you will decline next time.
Ever.
And in the future will decline.
Spring on Natasha that actually a trip she thought was a trip with the two of us was actually 3 of my. I would never do that.
You know, it's a little something called boundaries, and you really have to teach people how to talk to you and
how to treat you.
And it's exhausting, but it's something that it's important to do and to learn how to do. And even if you have to like go to an online therapist just to teach you the basics.
If you do go to one, we would like to heartily recommend Talkspace. And if you need a new bra, we really recommend Third Love.
No, they're great. They really are.
You know, they even have half sizes. So we'll leave you with that. But seriously,
it's the only bras I wear.
Get a Third Love bra, strap it up tight, tell your boyfriend, you need to tell me this kind of stuff, and good luck to you. Where'd you move from?
I moved from Canmore, Alberta.
I think you made a good move, and maybe you owe him a little bit.
Prepare for the matriarchy, darling.
Yeah, even in Canada.
Don't let him like bring all these dumb boys around and like imagine if you did that. You would never do that.
I know. I'm very considerate.
Yeah.
Well, I would just not do that because I wouldn't want you to come on a guys' weekend. I would like to. We all fuck each other when we go away. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Talk to you soon. Good luck to you. Anna, wish you the best.
Bye.
Huge fan. Bye.
Thank you. Well, Tosh.
I wish I was Canadian.
Well, you could be. They would definitely accept you.
Nicer.
They would take you.
Are there like trolls in Canada on the internet?
No. Isn't that crazy? No.
It does seem like there couldn't be.
No, there 100% are.
Sweet little Canadians?
There's actually some dark shit up in Canada.
Like what?
Serial killers.
No, I don't believe it.
Yes.
They're all great.
They're so nice that some of the culture wars are most pronounced there. And I think it has to do in some weird way with them being nice.
You know what
like,
it is?
The bad people are almost worse there sometimes.
I just realized what's so great about Canadians.
What is it?
They know they're better, but they don't act like it. Like, you know, like British people, they kind of act like they're better. Right. They're more cultured, but the Canadians, like they don't act like it.
That's interesting. I think that's a really good point.
They're like naturally superior to us.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I think that Moshe.
Yes.
I have to
go
finish Fleabag.
Okay, well, if you'd like to leave a secret on our hotline, you can call us at 213.
I'm rewatching Fleabag because I was kind of not paying attention when we were watching it together.
You were also not paying attention when I was doing the
sorry,
our
but
phone
anyway,
number. Tell me about Fleabag.
I'm really into watching a lot of. I just had this epiphany the other day that the reason why it's hard to get old in Hollywood for women is because men are writing the parts. So like the more female-led content there is, the better it is for females who want to be actresses and want to tell their stories. And also, we just watched Sunset Boulevard about a 50-year-old woman descending into madness, and it was so much more fascinating than anything about a man. Like, women are innately so interesting that
anyway, if you got a secret to leave.
Anyway.
We do recommend Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, you guys had so much fun watching that, and I just think that
was a great movie.
I'm so excited about all the stuff that I'm discovering, something like Fleabag is so fun to watch if you haven't seen it because it's only 6 seasons, that British style. So it's like watch 6 episodes, each season. So it's 2 seasons. So it's like you're watching 2 movies. You can get caught up on the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it's just kind of
hot tip from Natasha Leggero. Check out the television program Fleabag.
No, I'm saying
breaking news here on the Endless
I'm
Honeymoon
saying if
podcast.
you feel guilty like I do that you haven't seen these things that people have been talking about for the past year and a half, sometimes you can like binge it in a weekend and don't
Totally.
feel bad about it. There's so much great
I got a
content
recommendation
out there.
too.
What?
Just a.
You rewatch Marvel movies all night.
Okay, well, let me just say that if you're looking for something to watch, I just found a really cool diamond in the rough. It's called The Sopranos. It's about the mafia, and it's on HBO.
No, there's some other great shows I've been watching. We watched that movie 40-Year-Old Version. That was great. We saw
Version.
40-Year-Old Version, I said.
No, I know. I'm just every time I say it, people.
I know.
It's so funny to tell people about that movie because they're like, "Did you see this movie, the 40-Year-Old Version?" And they're like, "Yeah, I've seen the 40-Year-Old Virgin." Like, it just seems like an ill-named movie, but it was good. I loved it.
Promising Young Woman.
PYM.
That could not have been written by a man.
Okay, honey.
I'm just saying, like the new perspectives that women. We should just be fostering female creative talent because I think it's really important
Here
for
on
them
the
to be the
here on the podcast.
We should, yeah, why not?
I mean,
Let's figure out a way to do it.
okay. Well, I'll tell you the way.
Also, some other great. All right, go ahead.
No, please
No,
give some more plugs.
No, it's okay.
No, come on. What do you got?
Nothing.
No, what? People want to know.
I watched that show Game Face. I thought that was good.
Haven't seen it.
I watched I Hate Susie. That
It's
was
like
really
so
good.
funny. She makes fun of me. Natasha makes fun of me because I like Marvel movies. Every time I walk into her bedroom, it's like some like moody like, oh, what? I'm a woman coming into my own. What? I'm gonna do coke. I'm gonna do a threesome. It's like an edgy British woman like having a drug thing. It's like, yeah, we both like specific stuff. We both like stuff that we like. And you what, mate?
An edgy British woman with a drug problem.
Okay, if you'd like to leave a secret,
British people are also better.
Oh my god! Let me get to the. Go ahead. What? They're better. At
British
what?
people are also better than Canadians, or better like Canadians. Never mind.
I believe you're going to make a point you already made on the podcast earlier.
I was gonna say British people are also better than Americans.
Oh,
Canadian and British people do see.
Good thing to leave us with, Tosh. Thanks for.
I just mean in terms of British people in terms of culture and Canadian people in terms of like spirit.
One more thing before we go. British people are better than Americans. Go ahead, Moshe.
No, I just mean they just seem more intelligent sometimes.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Whole.
Well, if you're not so insulted that you've decided never to listen to this podcast again and you'd like to leave us a secret on our secrets hotline.
I like British comedy. Can I say that?
You can say anything you want. You've been saying it all.
I was just trying to say why, I was trying to stick up for myself after you roasted me for what I like.
Do you ever roast me for what I like?
Yeah.
Yeah. I am rewatching the X-Men series, and I'm loving it.
A lot of guns while I'm trying to sleep. I can hear them through your earbuds.
If you'd like to leave us a secret on our secrets hotline, you can call 213-222-8608.
Or if you want to send us an email, please email us at endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com. And also we're on Instagram. Follow us, like us. The more comments you leave us, the more we can check them and laugh at them.
You what, mate? You look at my comments. You look at my comments.
I do think that there's not a lot of Canadian trolls.
Oh, where's hold on. You look at my comments. Where's the Molly? I'm gonna have a group sex tonight. I'm gonna have a bit of group sex.
I definitely used to idolize England.
England's cool.
I thought it was like
Canada's cool.
I got when I as soon as I turned 18, I went there. Like I was so like horny for London.
Horny for London. That could also be the title of this episode. You can go to youtube.com/endlesshoneymoon if you'd like to be on the podcast and get some advice from us. Again, email us, and we love you, all of our listeners, both Canadian and British. And to the Americans that listen to us, you got a lot of splaining to do.
I like Americans.
Okay. We love you. We love you. And Natasha, I love you.
I love you too.